Johnny must be autistic, even though they're not doctors. But he came out and said, turns out one of my sons is autistic and I am too. But I'm not gay yet. Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am back with episode 6 of The Traitors. And somebody's getting murdered. I feel like there was one wrong vote at the round table this week. Let me know what y'all think. We pick up at breakfast where Lisa feels like she has to act like a housewife since Colton called her out. Michael Rappaport is gone. Monet is gone. And now everyone has their new targets out of who's remaining. Last night, the Traitors found out that no shields were taken during the, the statue challenge. So they don't get to murder anybody. So first in at breakfast was Mara, Kristen, Rob. And they play this creepy music when Rob comes in, and when Rob is sitting down, it's like, okay, foreshadowing maybe. Then Lisa, Mark, Tara, and Candace come in, and Lisa says she has to change the narrative because Colton's on her AL. Okay. Next, Steven, Natalie, Ron, and Johnny Ware come in. And Ron is worried about the toast. He wants somebody to pass the toast. He's just trying to get his last grub on before he leaves the house. That's what it looks like. Lastly, they all, cheer, and the Traitors put on a show when they see Colton, Dorinda, Jam, and Eric walk in. So that means nobody got killed, So Lisa's in full actress mode. Colton leans over to Dorinda and was basically like, you think Lisa's acting strange, blah, blah, blah. He's trying to get some people around, which I think is so strange for him to ask Dorinda, being as though Dorinda and Lisa are both housewives. I guess he feels like he can get some info from Dorinda, or if Dorinda flips, maybe that's more of an indicator that Lisa is a traitor. I don't know. He's stupid. Colton needs to get off my screen. So after breakfast, everybody's talking in their little groups or whatever, and looks like Colton talks to Dorinda and Natalie about Lisa. Natalie is suspicious of Lisa as well. Colton, Steven, Candace, Lisa, and Dorinda all kind of chit-chat. Colton is staring Lisa down. Lisa's trying not to look like a traitor. They talk about Ron. They, have their eyes on Ron as well, because Ron has been getting it since he suspected Portia, and he was wrong. They have a scene where Ron and Rob play chess, and what is said is, why wouldn't it look suspicious that Ron and Rob are playing chess? But apparently, Rob, the traitor, played chess with everybody. But we learned that Ron and Rob kind of have a relationship, and Rob doesn't want Ron to go. Rob also has a relationship with Colton. He doesn't want Colton to go either. So then we have the mission.
Candace, how you feeling? I'm scared.
Candace is cracking me up, y'all. When she said, I'm scared, that was funny. The mission, I love the mission. I love horror. The mission had gore. It had bugs. It was dusty. It was dark. They were in a cabin. And of course, Candace is scared. Tara's scared. Dorinda, Lisa. This scene was so funny. From Jam trying to count or trying to put the letters together with his accent, to Dorinda and Lisa trying to outscream each other. Johnny was trying not to look scared. This was a funny challenge. They had to get clues from inside the cabin. Two people had to run out and try to find the tombstone that had the name of the clue. And each time they got a headstone right, they would get like $3,000 or whatever. They had the opportunity to win up to $18,000. Once two people left to go find the tombstone, they couldn't come back in the house. So, of course, they have Candace and Tara go out first, and they get it wrong. They didn't even get to come back and tell them, well, y'all told us the wrong freaking name. But, yeah, that was Jam Jam's fault. I don't know if anybody noticed that, but Jam Jam made them miss out on $3,000. Talking about, what was it, Lack? Talking about Clark. Jam Jam, that wasn't Clark. What's wrong with you? Loud and wrong. So anyway, this scene was funny. They discussed the shields, and Natalie was like, if anybody takes a shield, you're going to get banished. Ma'am, why? Whose decision is this? Are you the leader or something? And I think Mara tried to point that out, that Natalie said that, but nobody kind of picked up on it. It's like, you're talking like you're a traitor. Like, how you going to banish somebody? I mean, I know the traitors murder, but still, like, you're not in charge, ma'am. Why would you try to control the game by saying they can't grab shields? That's annoying to me. The shields are there for a reason. So I think they got maybe $15,000, I think, because Candace and Tara went to the wrong tombstone. And then the last three standing in the house were Ron, Rob, and Eric. Ron, Rob, and Eric were the final three in the cabin. All right, so then we're back at the castle. Once we get back to the castle, Johnny tries to rally a group against Colton. And if they would have stuck with it, they could have gotten Colton out, and this would have really helped their game. Because Colton's not a traitor, but he's steering the group, and he's guessing wrong, and he's playing aggressive, and he's mucking stuff up. Why didn't they all get on board and have 8 people vote out Colton? Rob is apprehensive. Everything everybody say, he's going against it because he's like, I don't want to vote out Rob. I don't want to vote out Colton. They should have voted Rob's behind out this episode because he finna mess some stuff up. So Colton goes aggressively at Lisa. He even pulls Lisa to the side and tries to get Lisa to admit in some way, shape, or form that she's a traitor. And she's like, what are you talking about? You're barking up the wrong tree. I'm not a traitor. I'm a faithful. And Lisa, her confessional was so funny when she's like, he thinks he's all cool and smart and stuff. And I'm just like, she's acting like she's smoking a cigarette. Like, what? Like, boy, bye. He's probably half Lisa's age. And Lisa's on to him. Like, you're not going to be able to trip her up, man. Like, really? Come on now, little boy. Come on now, little boy. Let's not forget my boy Mark. Mark is not, as quiet as, he may seem. He does give his input, and he is trying to actually play the game. All right, so then we have the round table. At the round table, Ron basically wants to say his goodbyes, but he doesn't go down without a fight. Him and Colton kind of go at it a little bit. Then Ron basically says, hey, I messed up once. You messed up way more than I did, but it's okay that you messed up with Michael because nobody likes Michael. But you messed up with Portia, and who else did he mess up with? Basically, he's saying Colton messed up multiple times, and I only messed up with Portia, and it was somebody else. God darn it, I can't think of who else it was. But anyway, Braun is saying, basically it's not fair, and people are biased. People are biased, using their bias. Because Colton's been wrong way more than Ron has, and they won't let Ron forget when he messed up. And Lisa even says, hey, I voted for Portia because Ron convinced me to vote for Portia. I didn't vote. I mean, I don't understand why Colton thinks Lisa is a traitor because she voted for Portia. Everybody's voting for who they want to because of whatever different reason. Why does Lisa's reason have to be because she's a traitor? That's stupid to me. So anyway, like I said, Ron doesn't go out without a fight. Even Tara pipes up and says, I don't think Ron is a traitor. Some of the 8 that Johnny was trying to steer ends up changing their votes because of Ron's performance at the round table. They're like, it's not Ron. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? So what do they do? And I liked Ron's, performance, saying bye, telling Tara she's sweet, she's nice, blah, blah, going around the table. Because he knew inevitably that he was going to be gone. And in his exit interview, he was ready to go. He was ready to go. He didn't have a great time in that house. And did y'all see where he came out and said that, everyone was right in suspecting that he was autistic? Like the fans, the audience was saying, Ron must be autistic, even though they're not doctors. But he came out and said, turns out one of my sons is autistic and I am too. But I'm not gay yet. So yeah, Mark has the deciding vote, and it's so weird. Why did he say I voted for yourself? What? They go to a commercial break right after he says I voted for yourself. I'm like, yourself? Who's that? Let me talk about these votes. They end up with 5 votes for Ron, 5 votes for Lisa, and 4 votes for Colton. Well, guess who voted for Lisa, y'all? Rob the traitor. Rob the traitor. It's like, why, dude? Some people may understand why he did it, and some people don't. I guess he just didn't want to give himself away. If he would have voted for, I don't know. I don't think he would have given himself away if he would have voted for Ron or Colton. And I don't think he's as good of a guy as he's, trying to act like he is. I think at the end of the day, he's going to stab somebody in the back. But anyways, Mark is the final vote, and Mark votes for yourself. I mean, Ron. He votes for Ron. Let's see. Ron gets up there and says his speech, and he says in real life and on the show, he's faithful. And everybody's dead silent, because guess what? They're wrong again. And then they're like, okay, when he leaves, it's going to bring more clarity. How? What now? How's it going to bring more clarity? It would have brought more clarity if you would have sent off a traitor. So anyway, after the round table, Lisa, they gather around the bar, and Lisa, basically tells Colton, hey, listen, I've had 36 years in this business. You can't expect me to have one note. I'm more than a housewife. This lady done been on so much stuff. I remember her, and I didn't even watch her soap opera, whatever soap opera she was on. I didn't even watch it, but I knew her because I used to read Soap Opera Digest. And of course, if you watch the soaps, you're gonna know all the soap people. So, and of course, I remember her fine husband, Mark Hamill. I mean, why do I keep calling that man Mark Hamill? Whatever his name is. So yeah, she tells Colton, I'm not one note, dude. Basically, I've been in this business 36 years. You can't expect me to act a certain way. And she did kind of get the heat off of her, in my opinion. So Colton's funky butt threatens to take a shield from now on, and if they want to get him out the house, they better get him out the house tonight. So then the host comes in and says, there's going to be a banquet. Y'all have gone through enough today. There's going to be a banquet. And Natalie's like, what's the catch with this banquet? What's the catch with this banquet? So he tells the traitors, the host tells the traitors that they're going to have to wear, somebody's going to have to wear an amulet. This big stone, piece of jewelry. Somebody's going to have to wear an amulet. And Candace is like, and, they're like, Rob's not going to be able to wear it. That's going to give things away. Whoever touches the amulet is immediately murdered. It's going to be a murder in plain sight. Lisa's like, oh, I can do it, baby. I can do it. I think Johnny asked Lisa, what are you wearing tonight? And she's like, oh, you're not ready. She's like, you're not ready. I like that Lisa has kind of piped up a little bit as her and Candace go up the stairs. They're like, housewives coming through, drama. And Lisa starts snapping her finger from side to side, twisting her hips. I'm like, okay, Lisa. All right, Lisa, do it. I heard some bad things about Lisa from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but she's all right. She's all right on Traitors. It's funny that people are rooting for her and Candace, and they're both traitors. So, they're coming off on screen real likable despite being traitors, So anyway, We see Lisa putting that amulet on that black and white clown suit, and we get a clip of everybody gathering for the banquet. And it looks like it's going to be lots of drama. Lots of drama, y'all. So what are your thoughts? What do you think about Ron going home? They didn't get to murder anybody because nobody got the shields from the last mission. What do you think about the funny moments at the mission with Dorinda and Lisa screaming, Candace and Tara being horrified? I love that mission. That was my favorite mission so far. Because I'm not a huge fan of the missions. But yeah. I try to put some pictures in here, see what clips I can grab while I'm editing the recap. All right, well, that's all I have, y'all. I want Colton out. At this point, I kind of want Rob, the traitor, out as well. Since you want to have a heart and try to save your friends, I want him out too. But drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And hit the notification button so you don't miss any of my videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.
My favorite yell, the way Tiffany yelled Monet, that is burned into, as she plunges that spear into her shield. Tiffany is Monet!